We've been invited over to the home of Leonardo Urbano. He's built up quite a following as the trash lawyer, but there's nothing trashy about Leo's place. Let's head in.
Hey Jo, come in.
Hi Leo, thanks for having us over.
You're welcome.
Got a beautiful home here.
Thank you.
Can you take us on a bit of a tour?
Definitely, yes. Let me show you around.
Thanks. Wow, this is beautiful. Look at this cabinet and the chair. Tell us about this here.
Yeah, so this is a mid-century cabinet that I was able to save, and everything on top, from the art to the books to the lamp and the vintage soda bottle, it all comes from the street.
And when you say save, where do you find these treasures?
So some of them are from council cleanup, but actually most of the items were bit and pieces found in random places when someone just decide to clean the garage or move between places and just chuck everything out in the curb.
Do you usually fix items up a bit?
Some of them, but surprisingly 90% of the things I find don't need any work, just maybe a bit of cleaning. But
this is a treasure. Yeah. This is so nostalgic for a lot of people. I think you do the soda bulb and create the soda water or the sparkling water. Have you used this?
I never, no.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing on top of my grandfather credenza, but we never used it. It was just, the kids couldn't touch it.
Yep.
So it was, it looks very nice.
It looks really cool. And the record player as well.
Record player, yeah, it works, and I'm starting slowly to collect the vinyls that I find around, and yeah, so.
One of your most interesting finds is actually an original artwork from an Archibald finalist, which is hard to believe that someone threw that out. Here it is.
Exactly.
Just tell us a bit about it and show us.
Yeah, so this was found a few months ago in not far from here in Paddington, in a rainy day, and it was alongside other kids painting. And so I saw it, I went through it, I really liked it, I decided to bring it home, and while I googled the name that was on it, I discovered that it could have been an original. I emailed an art gallery, and then is when they confirmed that it actually was. So yes, that's the story. And
some of these amazing treasures here you've collected. Tell us about these. Yeah, so this, it's a letter from 1928, directed from Germany to England. So I believe there are two friends talking, and one of the words I can decipher is battleship. And so it's quite interesting how this all happened 10 years before the Second World War. Yeah, so I wonder what was going on. Yeah, you can only just wonder about these, you know, the faces and the places in these. Who do you think these people are?
So, from what I understood, those are opera singers from Russia, and there is almost 10 of them with the signature. So I think this gentleman was collecting, and you can see the name and the signature.
Leo, why do you collect these things?
Yeah, so I enjoy the saving as much things as I can from the landfill because of the recycling part of it, and that's how I furnish almost entirely my house, from lamps to art to the table to the fridge and so on. And then secondly as well, I enjoy the treasure hunting and the discovering of, you know, the art and getting to learn how to fix perhaps a TV or a microwave. It's quite enjoyable to learn new things, let's say.
So creating less waste, I guess. And one thing I think people often think to throw out rather than to fix is technology, because it can be a bit intimidating to think about fixing. But you've collected a bit of technology, and I mean, do they work? Have you gone about fixing things?
The funny thing with technology is actually the thing that I find that most of the time works perfectly. Is just gets old and people want the new model. So both those cameras work perfectly, and they were both found inside the trash can. People didn't even bother to give it to someone. They just say, I don't want to see it anymore, goodbye.
So for people who are starting to think more about how much they waste and how much they throw out, what would be some tips for people who'd like to engage in perhaps repairing things or giving things a second life?
I think having a look on YouTube on videos on how to do things, I think that helps a lot, because there is all the information you need. Just follow the instruction and slowly learn how to, you know, fix stuff.
And there are a lot of places you can find things, as you say, on the side of the street, but there are a lot of community groups, and perhaps these have even become a bit more popular during the pandemic time, that people were connecting and looking for these things.
Yes, I use a website and it's called Inner West Street Bounty, and I believe there has more than 35,000 members. So when someone noticed and someone is moving out and putting all the furniture in the curb, take a photo, put the address, and so people can see what is there and maybe save some of this stuff.
We have to talk finally about one very special find, which is your cat, Bella.
Oh, yes.
Who's actually decided to make herself known over here.
Yes.
How did you come across Bella?
So there was a lady who had a bunch of unwanted furniture in the house she was selling on the garden, and she noticed that a kitten had babies. A cat had some babies in that area, and they were all hiding behind this mountain of trash. So we went to have a look, first of all for the trash, and then that's how we find the cat too. So she went home with us.
And she's taken a liking to the fan as well.
She loved the fan.